Hi, welcome back to the Frugal Life of Mercedes. If you are new to my channel, hello, I am Mercedes. My channel mostly focuses on frugality and living a debt-free lifestyle. I do a lot of shopping hauls and cook with me videos and frugal tips. Today I am going to talk about my no spend challenge. So, happy first day of September. It's crazy. I can't believe where the summer went. It's gonna be cold weather here soon, although I do live in Virginia, so it probably won't be cold weather until November, to tell you the truth, if you aren't from the South. So I decided I was gonna do a no spend challenge, and if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I actually was doing a no spend challenge at the beginning of 2020, but then with the coronavirus and everything, I kind of got off track with that. So just like everybody else, there were some things that I wanted to have on hand, even though I have a stockpile. I always have a stockpile on hand. But yeah, so that all happened, and then my husband and I separated, and I moved in with my parents, and then you guys know, it just like turns into like a big thing. So I thought that I would do a restart and do a no spend September. Now, this might go into more months, but to keep it, just to keep it right now, I'm going to just do a no spend September, and then I'm going to think about it and see how it goes, and then I might go into October, but I will keep you guys posted. So why would somebody do a no spend challenge? If you've never done a no spend challenge, basically it means you don't spend money that you don't have to. So you still pay your mortgage, you still pay your rent, you pay your electric, all that kind of stuff that you're already, you have to pay. So any bills that come in that you absolutely have to pay, you do. Now, different people do no spend challenges differently. Like, some people don't go grocery shopping at all. Some people keep their regular grocery shopping budget. Some people make their budget smaller. For me personally, I'm actually going to do I'm going to try to do no grocery shopping. I have a chest freezer full of stuff. I've got a bunch of things, lots of stuff to eat, plus I still live with my parents. So some people are going to say that that's cheating, but actually there are two fridges in my parents' kitchen. One is the family's fridge and one is my fridge, and it's got all my Weight Watcher friendly type stuff in it. So I really just eat from my freezer and my refrigerator. So there's that. So I'm going to try not to do any grocery shopping at all, at least for the month of September, and then we'll see. Then so the things that I have are, I pay my parents a small amount of money to live with them. That was something that we came up with. So I actually paid them that today. So that's already all good to go. And that was from my paycheck from the month of August. And then I pay my Weight Watchers and my car insurance, and that'll be at the end of September, because I paid it for the month of August already. And then I'll be using money for gas, and that's pretty much it. Now in September, I actually do have 2 trips that I have pre-planned. My friend is getting married in November, and she's having a girls' weekend in the middle of September, and I've already paid for that trip. It's a couple nights away at an Airbnb with her and a couple of her friends who are also bridesmaids, because I'm in the wedding, and that's already prepaid for. So, but it is like 2 hours away from my house, so I usually only spend about, I allot $80 a month for gas. Now for some that seems like a lot, and some people that doesn't seem like a lot at all, but that's for all my driving. That includes to and from work, to and from seeing my boyfriend, to and from whatever. I have a mother-in-law that is actually an hour away, and she's sick with cancer, and so I go and see her. So $80 a month I usually have left over, but this month I will definitely be spending more on gas, just because I have to drive the 2 hours to the Airbnb and then a couple of days later drive back. And then the next weekend, my friend is having her bridal shower, and she lives about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from where I live. So then I'll have to drive out that way. And it's not a big deal at all. It's just extra gas money that I wouldn't normally be spending. And also, before, when I lived with my husband, I lived about 5 minutes from work, and now I live about 25-30 minutes away. So my gas used to be even less before, but now that I live further from work, you know, I have to spend more on gas money. So those are just things to keep in mind. So I'm not planning on eating out. My boyfriend and I usually eat out 1 to 2 nights a week because we don't live together. So those are like our special treats to do together. But I'm going to see if we can narrow that down even more, because usually we take turns. He'll pay for one and I'll pay for the other. So I'm going to see if we can narrow that down even more. Then that's pretty much everything that I have going on. Now, why would somebody do a no spend challenge? Now, I actually I had mentioned in my previous video that was a Dollar Tree haul that I was stocking up on some stuff, and that I was planning on doing a no spend challenge, and I'd be making a video on that. And I had a subscriber say that they were going to be doing a no spend September because since COVID, their income has actually been decreased by half, and that's a lot. That's a lot. So there's lots of reasons why people would do a no spend challenge. To get out of debt, to kind of just do a restart. Maybe you have a lot of stuff on hand, like food items and household items, and maybe you're just trying to use up what you've got. For me, my goal is to get my credit card paid off by the beginning of next summer. So I really want to focus on that. So then all the money that I'm not spending will go towards that. Now, some people don't think that a no spend challenge is very productive, because sometimes people stock up on stuff ahead of time, or after the no spend challenge they have to spend a ton of money to restock up on stuff that they used up during the challenge. Now that kind of just depends how much stuff you have on hand, and if that's your case, depending, like for me, it's just me, so it's not as much of a concern versus if you've got a bunch of kids at home, or you know, other people that you live with and all that kind of stuff. So what you might want to do is, like, let's say that your grocery budget is $800 a month. Well, why not try to spend $400 a month? So then you're just getting staple items, you know, like fruit and vegetables and, you know, all that. So then your pantry is not completely bare. But then that extra $400 can go towards savings or paying something off, or whatever it is, the reason that you're doing the no spend challenge. But for me personally, I did stock up on stuff. I went to the Dollar Tree and I spent $67, but that was for like shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and then just some like fill-in household items. As I said, since I do live with my parents, I do pay them a small amount to live here, but because it's such a small amount, I do contribute. Like, I will buy like hand soap and dish soap and laundry detergent, and my mom and I take turns buying some of that stuff since I do use it while I'm here. So $67 to stock up on stuff is not a bad deal, because I did go to the Dollar Tree. But again, you have to think about your circumstances and how many people live in your house and all that kind of stuff. And it might not be a bad thing just to eat the pantry bare, because then you can look to see, like, what stuff do we really use, what stuff do we not really use. So you can make it a no spend challenge, but then I like to incorporate a freezer pantry challenge as well, because you have to start getting creative with the stuff that you have, and like making dinner with stuff maybe you've had on hand for a long time. And again, that's a really good way to say, like, you know, oh, we bought this, but none of us really like that, so then you'll know not to buy it again. Or we don't buy this that often, but we realize that we really do like this. And you can come up with new recipes and different things to try, and get the family involved. You know, this is a time to use up the last of the shampoos and conditioners from when you stayed in a hotel. It's a time to get creative, and you're going to save a ton of money too if you do it that way. And again, I have seen some people think that no spend challenges are counterproductive, but for me personally, I think that if you make a budget and what things do we absolutely have to spend money on, like what are our obligations, and everything else, we don't get. So for a month you don't go and get your Starbucks, or you don't go and get your nails done, different things like that, and see what you can do without, because then when the no spend challenge is over, you can kind of be like, okay, well, this I could see that I could do without, or this I could see I could go longer without doing this, or what have you. So again, my no spend challenge is so far just for the month of September, but I am going to keep you guys updated. I'm planning on doing a once a week check-in so that I can show you guys, will tell you guys how much money I did spend, so then if I do end up going out to dinner or spending money on something that I wasn't expecting, then I can tell you guys, and then we'll see how much money I actually save at the end of the month. Another thing to keep in mind, at the very beginning of 2020, my monthly expenses were $1,400. Now that includes a car payment, 2 credit card payments, rent and electricity and car insurance, like all that kind of stuff. Now that was $1,400 at the beginning of the year. Since then, I have paid off my car and paid off one of my credit cards, and I no longer pay rent. I do pay rent, but it's much smaller than the amount of rent I was paying when I lived in the apartment with my husband. And I no longer pay the electric bill since I don't live at that apartment anymore. And I was paying renter's insurance, but now that I live with my parents, I don't do renter's insurance because I'm under their homeowner's policy, but I still have car insurance. So my monthly bills went from $1,400 to less than $400. So I'm saving $1,000 a month from not having the typical rent, paying off the car, paying off the credit card, renter's insurance, and also I did get a new renter's policy. I talked about that in a video a few months back. I switched from Nationwide to Geico. My car insurance and renter's insurance together, and it was my car and my husband's car and renter's insurance, and it was $250 a month. And then I switched from I got rid of the renter's insurance, and now I just cover my car insurance and my husband's car insurance, and it's $130 a month. So that's a huge savings. So you really want to check into switching to a different insurance policy, or at least looking into it and seeing what you would save. I pay the car insurance for my husband's car presently, and he pays the cell phone bill for myself and for himself, and that's what we have worked out as of right now, because as I've said, we're separated, but it's very amicable and all that kind of stuff, so that's the agreement that we came up with. So eventually I will get my own cell phone plan, and he'll get his own car insurance, and we'll kind of divvy it up that way eventually. So my expenses went from $1,400 to less than $400 in the last few months. So I'm going to really use that opportunity to take that extra $1,000 a month and put it towards debt. And after that gets paid off, then I'm going to start saving up some money so that I can buy a condo or a townhouse. And I'm really excited about it. And I'm really excited to take you guys on this journey. And I hope that you guys will join me for the No Spend September to the best of your ability. And, it's a good opportunity to restart and to see what you spend money on that maybe you don't really need to, or you could, see if you can go without certain items. It's a great thing to consider. So please consider subscribing to my channel. Check out my Instagram, The Frugal Life with Mercedes. Comment down below. Let's get to know each other. Another thing is, if you guys want to subscribe to my channel and want me to subscribe back, just put that down in the comments. And another thing is, I went on YouTube desktop and I saw that I had a ton of messages, a ton of comments that were spam, even though they were like, do you want to subscribe for a subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And so these are from like months and months ago, and I never saw them before because I didn't even know that like, they wouldn't post that comment. YouTube would not post that comment because it was considered spam. But there was even ones that were like, oh, great haul, you got some good stuff, and it was considered spam. So I don't really know who decides that, or if it's an algorithm or what have you. So if I ever not comment back or like your comment, then it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that YouTube sometimes decides that I don't need to see your comment for whatever reason. So just keep that in mind. But if you would like me to subscribe to your channel for a subscribe, I would be more than happy to do that. Just put that down in the comments below. And thank you guys so much. And until next time, bye.